Hold on. They want me to use it aggressively. While they decide what... Oh.
Yo, Ray, can you actually go in fast? What? What? Oh my god!
They're looking at me now.
It is so ridiculous that they can do that, right? Be an absolute shitter. See, if the Sojourn commits, right, he dies because it's fair. If the Kiriko commits, she can just get out. He walks in, misses all cooldowns, keeps on fighting, cleanses, and then can still teleport out. The Sojourn commits, I aim better, he dies. Kiri comes back, kills me, but because she also has passive regen. This is why this game is bad. This clip alone, like, it makes me upset.
Okay, I have a confession. I don't hate Kiriko, even if she is the flavor of the month hero to hate on right now. And actually, I quite like having her in the game, but I can understand the frustration from the community around her design as seen in the previous few clips. As we approach some massive support changes in Season 9, I want to give my view on why Kiriko shouldn't actually be completely nuked out of Overwatch. But first, let's start with why people are actually annoyed at Kiriko. The frustration with Kiriko comes from her being stupidly survivable whilst also serving incredible impact. There's high reward with relatively low risk in a lot of Kiriko's plays. When you think of other survivable supports, you think of Mercy. In general, and certainly not all of the time, Mercy has to play with more risk to life than Kiriko to level the impact that a Kiriko has on a match. And that's because Kiriko can do everything all of the time. The immediate frustration from players is with her Suzu. When you think of any good play you've ever made in Overwatch, could it have been countered with a Suzu at some point? Well, probably. It is the ultimate overriding tool and exists on a 15-second cooldown, which for context is just as often as Widowmaker can throw down her Venom Mine. This cooldown length makes the window of punishability pretty small relative to Suzu's immense impact. And even if you have perfectly set up to punish a Kiriko for using her Suzu, she has an uncounterable teleport through rules ability on a 7-second cooldown, just 1 second slower than what Junker Queen can spam her knife throw at. She has all of this impact and all of this survivability, and still has a potential damage per second of up to 225, and can heal up to 77 health per second. This kind of output leads to crazy high numbers, which leads to crazy high ultimate charge, which leads to frequent game-changing impact just from number farming, since Kitsune Rush is an impactful ultimate. And with all things considered, Kiriko can kind of do everything, and this can be certainly frustrating to play against. Now, I'm not some support one-trick who mains Kiriko by any means. I haven't played the hero in comp since Season 3, and even then, she was my third most played hero in that season. However, I do think she is one of the most fun support heroes to play. When I think of Kiriko, I think of her impact coming through almost every decision that you make. Even when it comes to just her primary and secondary fires, there's a constant choice to be made between going all out DPS or mixing in full heals with just one kunai in between, and this tiny decision has a major impact on how the fight plays out. Taking a risk to stop healing so you can 2-tap an enemy comes with high reward, but it can also come with the cost of losing a teammate if you spend too long spamming kunais and don't pay close enough attention to the current fight. There's even decision making in the infamous get out of jail free card of Suzu. The split second decision to either hold or use Suzu can have a massive impact on a fight, and having to take that quick read of the current game state is super satisfying to get right. Sometimes the decision making in Suzu can come in the form of survivability for Kiriko. When faced with a near death situation, you often have to weigh up whether it's right to Suzu yourself to survive as a backbone of your team, or to potentially risk dying but with the payoff in potentially living and having Suzu online for a big enemy ultimate. And to take this even further, the optimal play here might be neither. Looking for a convenient swift step or even a quick wall climb is often a better choice and speaks further to the complex decisions a Kiriko can make to conserve fight-winning abilities. These micro decisions in highly intense situations make Suzu a fun ability to use, even if the ability is a little overtuned right now. And these decisions don't even mention Kiriko's Kitsune Rush. This ultimate may not be as broken as it once was, but the holistic design makes it a fun ultimate to use as a support player. It's one of the few ultimates in Overwatch that gives me agency over my team engaging in fight based on my read of the current game state, which is obviously so much better than my teammates at all times in a match, so it's super satisfying to have that agency. All jokes aside, I think what makes Kiriko fun is her impact and reliance on decision making. The wide range of tools within her kit give her many options to deal with many situations, and that might just be the key to fixing her. I've said it once and I'll say it again, Kiriko has it all. Damage output, kill potential, high healing, teleportation through walls, AoE and vulnerability, ultimate agency, and a freaking wall climb. Something here has to give. Blizzard's solution to balance issues always has to consider both sides, which part of her kits are healthy, fun to utilize as the character, and also play into a hero fantasy, and which parts of her kit are frustrating to play against, not that engaging to play with, and could viably be changed. My hot take, her healing, ultimate, and even teleport are actually fine. The most controversial of those is definitely her teleport, as players argue it gives her way too much freedom to escape situations on a short cooldown. But in fairness, Moira's Fade also allows her to escape from a fight entirely, and she has a slightly shorter cooldown and doesn't even require a teammate to be nearby to use it. Now, by no means am I arguing that Moira's Fade is overpowered or better than Kiriko's Swift Step, but what makes her Fade balanced is the fact that Moira can't do everything. So in theory, if we chew down other aspects of Kiriko, her teleport might actually feel okay to play against. In my opinion, the first thing that needs to be changed is Suzu. The most common defense I've seen to Suzu is actually, well, just bait it out. But I think the 15-second cooldown makes this really difficult to do in a lot of situations. Without a doubt, I think that Kiriko's Suzu should be within the realms of a 20 to 25-second cooldown. Honestly, I don't mind it being a fight-winning ability, it just can't be a reusable fight-winning ability in my opinion. The next thing is her damage. Even though you always want to be aiming for that 2.5 times multiplier in headshots with Kiriko, I think that even body shotting provides quite a bit of value right now. To lean into that gameplay loop of hitting satisfying headshots, I'd like to see Kiriko move from 45 damage to 40 damage. This 40 damage number still allows her to 2-tap half of the Overwatch cast, but it gives a slight relief to heroes like Brig, Cassidy, Lifeweaver, and Zen, and also means that she needs a headshot plus 3 body shots to confirm elims, opposed to the current headshot plus 2 body shots. I think we can honestly also just remove her wall climb ability. I get that it's because she's part of the Shimada trio, but it is a little gimmicky and just gives a hero with a lot of options maybe one too many options. I don't think that all of these changes need to be implemented, but I do think that these changes would be a fair place to start in balancing the satisfactions and frustrations of Kiriko if Blizzard don't nail it in the Season 9 patch. So how do you think we should fix Kiriko? Drop a comment down below of your balance ideas and we can find out if any of us are remotely close at the start of next season.